share.
Is it live?
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Hey, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
The honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, it's the brother Haran. We got the elder Tazawan. All right, the brother Kormath and the brother Amna. All right, and as you can see, the title goes, all right, the CBDC is in effect. All right, and basically, we're just going to go into this article real quick. All right, going into prophecy. All right, what's today? Today's what, September 4th? 3rd? All right, 2022. So pretty much 3 more months left for this year to be pretty much over. All right, and I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. All right, I touched on this article that the CBDC, you know, which is being pushed by the World Economic Forum. All right, they're now calling it the Fed Now. All right, and when you scrutinize that whole concept of the Fed Now, it's pretty much their attempt to push for a so-called digital currency. Now, within that digital currency, as the article is going to go into, all right, that digital currency is pretty much for you to be able to gain access or be able to use this so-called digital currency. You, the person, will have to be implanted with some type of digital, you know, access, if you will. All right, like the Professor Klaus Schwab always says that you will be immunized. All right, so basically that immunized is you being that person with the, you know what. All right, so you know, if you want to say something, anything, bros.
Nah, we can go straight into this article. Hey, I'll just say this before, you know, they coming out with it, you know, left and right, man. You know, the scripture speaks about. I got it. Okay. The scripture speaks about the effect of every vision.
Right.
You know, and this is a part of that. This right here is a part of the vision, man. You know, the MOTB. Right. Being that Karagma, but they setting up the whole institution of it. They're setting up the system of it. Right. So it has to happen in you know, in stages. It can't just go from this to automatically everybody's taking, you know, the CHIPs. They gotta form and fashion. They gotta the PIAO cause it to happen. So when we see articles like this is making us aware, the ones who are watching, the ones who the Lord has given an eye sloth to see these things, making us aware that it's coming into fruition. It's happening more and more. That's why when it does happen, we're not going to be blindsided by it. You know, we are. It's not going to come upon us as a thief, because we're those good men that, you know, watched for the thief to come, so that our houses won't suffer to be broken into.
And in order for them to bring this thing out, we got to know that it's going to come, like the scripture says, with great wrath. So we're really pretty much entering into the hour of temptation, because with all these things that's being set up, the design is set up to restrict people from freedoms. Like the president of France been saying that the age of abundance is pretty much over.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so when you start hearing these...
125th.
Okay.
Turn right.
Right, okay. You know, when you start hearing these so-called people in power, all right, who are put in power so-called by the people, for the people, if they're coming against you and saying that your life of abundance is about to be over, what should I tell you? And then if you have the same people who are connected with a so-called corporation, World Economic Forum, that says that you own nothing and you'll be happy, and they're setting things up that way, then you should understand that we're living in the last days, like the scripture says. All right, there's going to come a time of tribulation, and through the tribulation, that's when we're going to receive salvation. All right, so everything from here on out is going to be a tribulation, man. It's going to be troubling times. All right, so the brothers want to start it up right away.
Yeah. So this is the article from the worldeconomicforum.com or .org, and it says, what are central bank digital currencies? So it says here, money isn't paper and coins anymore. It's increasingly digital, and a growing number of central banks are considering issuing their own digital currencies. Australia is the latest country to trial a central bank digital currency, or CBDC. Its central bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, said the project would explore the potential economic benefits of introducing a CBDC. The project will also look at how a digital currency from Australia's central bank could be used to provide innovative and value-added ways for homes and businesses to make payments and transfer funds.
So they're using these different, and that's how you know it's on a global scale, because they're using these different countries as testing points or pilot countries to test the various different things. Because even in Canada, they basically came out with the whole known traveler ID, where you won't be able to travel within Canada unless you have this digital ID that basically is owned by, they said owned by these stakeholders. All right, and you even had Klaus Schwab say that about the whole, like, we are the stakeholders of the world. And a stakeholder is a owner. So they're basically telling you that we own the world, pursuant to Job 9:24. Earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And with this ownership, see, this devil has a mind. He has an enterprise. Was that Job 5?
5 and 12.
Make sure you get some the scriptures, Job 9:5, that they have an enterprise that they're trying to accomplish. And the way that this devil has always worked, he works as a serpent. So as a snake doesn't just come at you straight forward. He comes at you deceitfully. You know, he hides his real intentions. He may even look like he's not paying attention. I remember my brother had a snake in his little tank, and he put the live rat in there, and the snake would let the rat just like walk around, just do everything, just move. The snake would climb on. I mean, the rat would climb on the snake, and the snake would act like it's not paying attention. As soon as the rat feels comfortable. When the rat feels comfortable and takes its its mind off of the snake, that's when the snake strikes. And the strike is quick and it's deadly, and you're not gonna be able to escape from it. And that's what this devil is doing. He's setting up this trap. These people are the rats, man. They call it this rat race. These people are the rats, man. And especially Jake, just driving, down the street. These people don't have no clue, man, what's going on. We're talking about, we talking about at camp, the geopolitical, geoeconomic sphere of what's happening. This devil's mind is on a much grander level. And these people, they're so low level, they can't think outside of their little small peon brain. So when we talking about this high level information that we're going into, it goes above their head. It goes above their head, and they're not going to be able to weather, the storm when it happens, because their minds are not prepared for this. And that's why we are always constantly harping in on these things, because this is higher level thinking. How wish I said it, that my ways, I'm from above, you're from below. I'm not of this world, you're of this world. And the Lord said that about us too, that we're not of this world. So we're thinking about things that a regular person in our position wouldn't even think about, man. We have minds of elites. We have elitist mindsets, but we're in this low level. But that's how you know that we are really, Lord willing, we those men, that we really are the judges of this earth, man. Because we can't help but to think on this high level.
And it's the reality of it, because knowing about these things is just half the battle. They don't care if you know, because at this point it's knowledge. Everybody knows, but it's about what are you gonna do about it. You see, and the only thing you could really do at this point is trusting in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that is what they don't want. They don't want people to tap into the spiritual. Everything right now is being called. You notice things around the world right now, what they're promoting for people to get into more is carnal stuff. Like, oh, go to this concert, or we're gonna stop you from eating, or we're gonna stop you from going to, traveling, or whatever. These are carnal things that you can do with. You can live without these things. But they want to put it in such a way where everyone is boxed in. Oh, if you don't get this thing, then you can't work. You look at the structure that's being set up right now. You go to stores, you go to grocery stores, you go to malls. Everything is being set up. The system is being changed as we speak. They're calling it a great reset. Okay, a great reset, meaning you're resetting things. You're setting things into a new different form of life. And that's what they want. And they're tapping into the spiritual. If you hear the words these devils are using, it's not just, oh, we just want to change you. They want to be like the Most High. They want to change the concept of a human being and make it into what they want. So this thing is bigger than just, they're having a conspiracy, whatever. Nah, this is a battle of good versus evil. So we represent the dominion of righteousness. The scriptures talk about kingdom against kingdom. We are in that time. The nation of Israel, the kingdom of Israel against the kingdom of Esau, Edom. The house of David versus the house of the Rothschilds, the house of Esau. So that's the battle. That's really what they're really worried about, because they can't get this so-called New World Order unless we are done away with.
Right.
You see, we are in their way, because the next world to come is the world of Israel. The Lord has promised us the earth and everything in it. So for them to have a so-called New World Order, Israel cannot be in existence, because who's set to rule next? Israel, underneath Yahushua and King David. So if we're not in power, or we're not around, then they have power. Then they have the ability to rule this earth. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be taken out of power, and that's never going to happen. You see?
Yep.
Does it keep going?
Right.
Trying
to put the AC on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, pull the precept real quick.
Was it 5 and 9?
5 and 12?
5 and 12.
Yeah.
This is Job chapter 5, verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Yep, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, man. The devices is their schemes. All right, and their enterprises, their plans.
Right.
So the Lord is going to disappoint their schemes, so that their hands, meaning what, their power, won't be able to perform their plans.
Right.
All right, the Lord's going to let this devil go just a certain length. He's not going to be able to go past the bounds. It also speaks about that in the book of Job. Job 20. You know, he's not going to be able to go past the bound of actually hipping everybody, man.
That's right.
You know, because the scriptures tells you that John saw men who had victory over the image and over the MOTB.
Right.
So which means that they were able, those men and those women were able to survive in this world,
right,
while that was happening.
Right.
And that's going to be by way of how? The divine intervention.
That's right.
It's going to be on Uptown. No, what street is it? It's not this street, the next one. Okay. Salaki, you can keep reading.
Okay. So it says here, what is a central bank digital currency?
On the right hand. After this street.
Okay.
Digital currency is simply electronic rather than physical money. Central bank digital currencies are digital versions of a country's physical currency. For example, a digital dollar, euro, pound, or yuan. This means 10 pounds of a UK digital currency would always be worth the same as a 10-pound note, explains the Bank of England in the United Kingdom. This is interesting, because then in this case, like the concept of like inflation and all that, would be very little to not likely to none, because in this case, dealing with digital currencies, like they said, if you have a 10-pound euro, it's gonna always stay worth a 10-pound euro. So it says here, the central banks issuing and managing these digital currencies are national financial authorities that oversee a country's currency, supply of money, and monetary policy, like setting interest rates which change the cost of borrowing. It goes on, how safe are central bank digital currencies? Central bank money is a risk-free form of money that is guaranteed by the state.
Right, and that's part of the deception that they're using, because now they understand how people are operating with in the term of crisis. A lot of people start to look for some type of relief, and that's why they call it stimulus relief. They call it that because they're creating, like you were mentioned earlier, the top-down approach, as above, pressure from above, pressure from below type spirit. So that's what they're doing now. So they understand that the regular average person is in debt. You're in so much debt, you don't even know what to do with yourself. So with this new system overhaul, expect to see different changes. You're gonna hear the tune of, oh, this is gonna make life easier. This right here will be real-time payments. They're talking about Zelle and Venmo and all these different apps that people use now to transfer money. They're telling you that, look, that system that we have now is old. We're trying to bring in a new system that's much more convenient, okay? And in order for you to partake in this convenience, you're gonna have to sacrifice everything you have now and then come on board with the new system we have now, which will be convenient for you. But ultimately, when they say convenient for you, it's actually convenient for them.
Right.
All right. That's how they spin the words. All right. So expect a whole lot of hell. They say, oh, this is going to be good for you. Understand that it's going to be evil. It's going to be bad for you. All right. But you got it. Go ahead.
So it says here, how safe are central bank digital currencies? Central bank money is a risk-free form of money that is guaranteed by the state. According to the European Central Bank, or ECB, which expects to introduce a digital euro across its 27 member states by mid-decade.
He calls it all.
Yep.
You know, that's happening.
Hey, and these are different world institutions like the IMF, the BIS, the WHO. They're all in tandem with this whole CBDC thing. You know, it's not like it's no coincidence. They brothers behind us.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. It's no coincidence that these all these corporations.
Hey, Zaquan, we're doing a quick live, so when we're done, we're gonna join you.
Huh?
We're doing a quick live, so when we're done, we're gonna.
Oh, we're just gonna wait then.
Okay, come.
How long you gonna be? Like 20 minutes?
Probably.
Yeah,
yeah,
about to.
We're just gonna wait. I'm gonna run in the L.
Okay, come.
So you're saying like it's all of these countries, they're all doing it simultaneously. That's not by coincidence.
Right.
You know, because the Lord has put it onto their minds, and they also, these world leaders, when they have those meetings, as we were talking about at camp, Psalm 64, the secret counsels of the wicked, they're all saying together like, yo, we gotta, move now toward this. This is the next phase that we have. All right. They kept saying it, in WEF, that we have this unique opportunity, this unique chance. Okay. You have to listen to the words that these devils are saying, because they were telling themselves, let their tongue will fall upon themselves. So they have this unique chance, this unique opportunity to change, to make this reset into what they really desire, their enterprise, which is to bring forth this digital age and to institute this that MOTB. All right, because the MOTB, that device is a part of a system, So it's not, they're not the Karax or the Karagma is a part of this system that they're creating. So it's not going to be just focused. They're not going to make the focus on like everybody. I'm trying to see how can I say this, because the system itself is what this devil is trying to do. They're trying to change everything toward the system, and that Karagma is going to be the way that everything's interconnected into the system. Yeah, so that that's what it is. So that's what all these different plants and things and schemes that they're doing now. It all forms this system that they're trying to create. Excuse me.
And the system is what they have, the Internet of Things. And then the Karagma is what brings in the Internet of Bodies. That's what connects you to the new system that's being created. So you notice they keep talking about identity, your identity. Your identity is who you are in this new system that's being created, and that'll be a form of money. How are you going to be able to eat? That's how they're going to invite you in. Okay, and it's all spiritual, going back to Jacob and Esau. Okay, how do we get the birthright from them? We starved them out. Okay, Jacob starved his brother out. I did a video on that a couple weeks ago. So he wants to do the same thing. It's all spiritual. If I hit you with famine and I force you, you're going to give up your birthright by taking my MOTB. All right, but Bakar, you gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, adding to what the elder was saying, was that like they're gonna, like, the MOTB is like a means to an end, because the end goal is gonna be really the new world
control, right?
Yeah, and so they're gonna, in order for you to be a part of that new world, you're gonna have to take this MOTB. But for us, the scriptures highlight the main part being that MOTB. But when they present it, it's gonna be like De Blasio said, the key, that you have the key to NYC. This is like the key into the digital world in order for you to function in this society. So one tactic I've noticed that they use as well is they try to minimize the importance of certain things to make you look stupid for going to extreme measures not to do something. Like, you don't want to take the Vanessa, you're going to throw away your whole life just for one shot that you've been taking already before. Like, they try to minimize the emphasis on the MOTB being this big deal and make it seem like really you're going to throw your life away for something so small.
But we understand the judgment of that. The people don't. They look at it as, okay, if I don't take it, I might not be able to have a place to stay, or I can't eat, or whatever. I can't buy and sell. But we're thinking of it as, yo, it goes beyond that. Because if you understood that, oh, those who take it are going to be destroyed when the thermonuclear missiles hit this place, then you're going to have a different perspective. You see? Because now you're thinking, okay, well, how am I going to hide? I have this thing in me. I can't take it out. It's not like all these promises they give you. Because remember, you're dealing with the devil here. You think, oh, he's going to tell you all this shit. He's telling you, you own nothing and you be happy. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to tell you his sales pitches, or if you take this, it makes life so much easier and convenient. Nigga, what life? You ain't going to have no life. Like, he's taking everything away from you, including what makes you, your identity is being taken away from you. So it ain't no, like, oh, there's a compromise. Ain't no compromise, bro. You know, you're taking it, you're going to be a slave, and then you're going to eat missiles on top of that. You it's a lose-lose, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. They're going to pitch it like the brother said. They'll pitch it.
He's so weird, yo.
Yeah, he looking at you like, oh, you saw that? You know? Our people are weird to this nigga over here. Man, yeah, we got to get out of here, bro. You know, but they're all going to take that MOTB. All these, they all going to, look at this class. They all going to take that shit, man. Yo.
The Bank of England explains that CBDCs, because they are pegged into a country's national currency, don't have the volatility of privately issued digital currencies like Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP.
Look at this one behind you.
It says,
Why'd you do that?
That's a dude. That's a female though.
Yeah, vexation of Babylon.
Yeah, for real.
It says America's central bank, the Federal Reserve, says that if it introduced a CBDC, it would be the safest digital asset available to the general public with no associated credit or liquidity risk. It says, how do central bank digital currencies work? People are using cashless and could use a CBDC to pay for things digitally, the Bank of England says. The same bank that also has the CHIPS ready for people.
Right.
And all of these different central banks, they keep amping up the pressures, increasing the interest rate, causing all of these problems, and then they're going to keep saying, oh, these problems that we're causing, we got to keep causing more problems to solve the problems that we've already caused.
Right.
I mean, solve the problems we already caused, but then the next problem comes to the point where they're just going to say, well, you know what? The solution to all of this is these CBDCs.
Right.
This is transferring everything digitally and then having the medium of exchange by way of the charagma.
Right.
You know, keep causing problems. I was watching a video. The guy said that they have the solution. They just need problems. You know, they already have solutions, but they have no problems. So they already have the main solution, but they don't have a problem that would fit that solution. So now what they have to do is continue to cause problems to where this solution matches the problem that people are in. So that's why they keep talking about the CBDCs, because they already have the platform. They keep trying to say, oh yeah, we're trying to figure out research, and you done spend years of research already. But now you're trying to just trying to continue to create pressures to where that it now matches in people's minds, that it matches what you're saying to the solution is.
Right.
You know?
Right. Right.
That's right. So it says, how do central bank digital currencies work? People are using cash less and could use a CBDC to pay for things digitally, the Bank of England says. And it kind of makes sense why they're allowing this dollar to become so destroyed, you know, because at the end of the day, they could very well say, look, the only way to save this this economy is if we transition, because that's why they said that the American CBDC will be the safest asset for, you know, consumers.
Right.
You know.
Right. Hey, I was reading something. They said the Fed now thing that they were creating, which is pretty much synonymous with the CBDC, has been in development for the past 10 years. Well, we just went through a so-called endemic crisis the past 2-3 years. And the Fed now is the solution for the problems we've been going through for the past 2 years. So it makes you wonder, like, okay, so the past 2 years, you mean to tell me that you foresaw this problem coming before? So you had this thing all set up, that this is where everything is leading to. Everything is going digital. Everything is cashless anyway, but you've been having it for the past 10 years.
See? And the FDA already approved using CHIPS in people for medical records and all that.
Right. Yep.
And that was like 2004, I believe.
Yeah. 04.
You got legislation that he just passed, 14067 executive order. So that executive order, he basically transferred money basically from paper to digital. Why are they doing that?
Right.
You know, but that's the thing. If you ask these people, yo, you know, heard of Executive 14067? No, what's that?
Right.
And that's what the Lord said about he's going to come as a thief.
Right.
Hold First Thessalonians 5:1. Okay, because that's why it's important to be able to watch. That's why the Lord said it, watch. Because if you are watching, it's not, when it happens, it's not gonna be effective. So you're not gonna be, but oh my God,
Right.
what the?
Right.
You want to know keenly what this is and why it's happening and what to do when it happens. But when it hits these people, let's say something does happen in December, because I think that's when that executive order is supposed to. Let's say something major happens. If you wasn't watching and your shit just changed, they're gonna be like, well, we've been told you about this.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
We've been said this. And then they're gonna be justified, but everybody else is gonna be like, "What the fuck? How did it come to this?"
Right, and that's how they're gonna box you in, because now it's you react different when you know something is about to happen. You're expecting something to happen. You have a different reaction compared to when you get caught off guard.
Right.
And we are in the position of knowing what's about to happen. And they don't want other people to know. That's the thing. It's like that's why it's called a war against information. That information is this truth going out. People being warned of what they're planning to do, because whatever they'll tell you is not what they're going to do. You have to understand that we're dealing with the devil here, all right? And if you study their rhetoric, they say things to get you to buy into their idea, as evil as it may be. If they came out and said this is what it is, which they have came out and said that, and we see it and say, hey, this is what the scripture said these devils will be doing. But they spin it in a different way. So those who don't know what's going on, they look at it like, oh yeah, that's a good thing. That's actually convenient, you know, think about it. And then next thing they come to find out, oh shit, all our rights are gone, all our freedoms are gone. What the hell is this? Like, I can't even do nothing. Here it is, the IRS is auditing my shit, and I send $200 to my brother or whatever. They send me a whole note saying that, hey, you got to pay this in taxes. You know, we saw that you made this transfer on this day, you bought this and you bought that. Like, what is this? I thought this was supposed to be convenient. It's convenient for them, not you.
They even said if you have $600 more in your account, you're basically going to be audited.
What?
You know, $600.
What the?
Yep. So if you have a small business, maybe, oh, you know, hey, I'm doing hair in this corner over there. Venmo me this $30, and the IRS, you're not taxing, you're not reporting on your taxes. Guess what? They're going to be coming knocking at your door. Yeah. So.
That's right. The Daily did say that from the World Bank. That we would be able to track every single transaction that is made.
It's because it's programmable tokens, and you can and they always say that if you can program it, that means you can program it to anything of your liking.
Right.
And that's where they connect the whole social credit score to that. Because if they can program money to only be able to be used for people who are let's say they're alphabet friendly.
Right.
Anybody who's not alphabet friendly, you're just programmed. You can't, you know, it's not gonna work for you. You know, or if you are if you're not carbon based friendly,
right.
You know, if they can program it to you, you can only spend 100 carbon, you know, MPs a month. And if you go, and if you get to 90, if you get to 100 in the first week, then you can't buy shit for the rest of the month.
Right.
You know? And that's how they get you to worship basically worship the image.
Right.
You know? You have to play ball in their field.
Right.
And if their field is full of abominations.
Yep.
They got the ball is their ball, the field is their field, the referees are their the whole game is rigged.
Right.
But then they say, yeah, it's a fair fight. Bring your team and we have our team. Nigga, the whole team, you're the only one who's on your own team. Everybody else is against you. The whole system has changed to come against you people, man. It's crazy. You know?
This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
Yep. Yeah, because the Lord told us that we don't know the hour or the day, but we know the seasons. You know, that's like the Lord gave us spiritually. I'm coming in the winter time, but I'm not gonna tell you what day I'm coming.
Right.
So the signs lets us know what season it is. So we're able to see these signs and be able to spiritually discern that, like, wait, that means the Lord is close, because all these things are happening.
Right.
Now, we don't know exactly when it's going to happen, when the MOTB. We had somebody that came to camp last week. He's like, when is he said the other word for Esau. He said, when is he gonna go down? It's like, we can't tell you exactly when, but we know the signs. You know, we know what it looks like. We know how it's gonna, and we can see. You know, based off of what is happening, right now, we can see that we're close to that. That's why Paul said that for other times and other brethren, other seasons, you have no need that I write unto you. For us, we should know. You know, brothers that are watching, brothers that are diligent. That's why you have to be consistent with this, man.
That's right.
You can't let up, because the Lord not letting up. These prophecies are happening. Boom. If you go a week without paying attention to prophecy, you'll be lost in the sauce. Lost in the sauce. I'll be feeling bad overnight. I'll be like, yo, damn, what I missed?
You go through our chat. Yo, you scroll, you be like, damn, like the whole, you just scroll news, articles, breaking news, this, and it's all corners.
Right.
The financial spot, the financial, politics, the military, climate, like there's so many different things. You know, countries are, people are rioting, protesting against their governments. You don't hear that on the mainstream.
Right.
So you might think, oh, ain't nothing going on. That's what these people are thinking. Ain't nothing going on, because you don't see it over here. But all hell's breaking loose around the whole world, man. Prophecies taking place right now as we speak. End time prophecies, man.
Yep.
That's like years ago, we look and be like, hey, they're going to be doing this. That they're going to be is they're doing it now.
Yep.
You see, but it's happening just like that in real time every day. You notice how fast the days are moving now. Yo, that shit is crazy, man. This is all end time prophecies. You see people getting more roused up, mad, violent for no reason. The tension is at an all-time high. Evil is at an all-time high. These are all times that the Lord said we'll be living through, man, before the end.
Measure thou the time diligently. Because when I see part of the signs pass, then shall thou well understand. And he was talking to what? A prophet.
Right.
You know? Right. He was talking to a prophet. He wasn't talking to just anybody. All right? Because he even says it in verse 8. I mean, chapter 8, I think one of the last verses. He's like, to thee and those that be like thee have I showed these things unto you. So the ones that are like thee, the prophets, the ones who are watching, we are the ones that got to measure the times diligently. We're the ones that's going to be able to well understand. All right, these people, they can't well understand it because they can't measure the time. You know, you think about that concept of measuring time. You know, you can't really, time is a measurement. Time is a measurement in itself, but we are even deeper because time was created from the spiritual. The spiritual don't dwell in the time. So you're outside of time being able to measure something that is measurable, that is a measuring stick. And what measures a measuring stick? The prophecies. Because time goes based off of the prophecies. So and only a spiritual man can measure time diligently.
That's right. That's right. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters in the comment board joining us.
Shalom.
There's more on that?
Hey, residents of New York City public housing complex have been told not to drink or cook with water from their tap after testing revealed unsafe levels of arsenic.
You want to say, if you can send me that?
Wow. And we were just talking about in Mississippi. You know, we were just talking about how they can't drink water there, man. And now arsenic. First, they said they had the polio in the water. Now you got arsenic.
And this happens right after the mayor came out. He did that whole commercial, the ad. He said, New York City tap water, drink up.
Drink up.
Yeah, he said, I encourage all New Yorkers to drink up. Like, yo, stay hydrated. The moment that came out, I said, they about to do something with that. And here it is. We're watching it. You see? So you know Esau, whenever he comes out and promotes something, understand that he has an evil purpose behind it. He just has to convince you that it's a good purpose so you can go along with it. And once he gets you in there, he gets you in his grip, he destroys you, man. You see? You
see how all these things is affecting Jake, right? The housing projects. That's what the projects, man. You know? What happened over there in Flint, Michigan, that was the hood. Over there in Jackson, Mississippi, all of those residents, that was over there in the hoods, man. And highly dense populated areas of what? Jacob's trouble. And this is only just the tip of the iceberg, man. You haven't even really, the Lord hasn't even begun really to bring that real wrath and destruction that he's going to bring on these people, man.
Right.
You know.
And these devils believe that having water to drink shouldn't be a right. There's the founder, I mean the head of Nestle Water, whatever that company, he said it. He said having water to drink should not be a human right. It has to go through them. Like, look, we're gonna shut all your water down. We're gonna tell you it's poisonous, whatever. We poison it, and now you got to come to us for whatever we want to give you, which is gonna be lab grown. Bill Gates is buying up all the land. They're gonna do the same thing with the food. Once all this shit runs out, because you were saying how you go to you went to the mall and it was closed down early.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Holiday season is coming up, so whatever is left in the stores, people gonna buy them up. And then when fourth quarter is ending, you got January, February, that dead drought where there's no one in the stores, everything is quiet. It's gonna be slow for everyone. That's when you're gonna feel that burn. And they said the timeline is from May to July is when they want to bring out that CBDC. They want to make it official. So December 13th. I believe there's another bill that HOCO passed for New York State, which goes in effect December 31st, which is the last day of this year. So January 1st, they're going to set something up that January 1st is going to be the beginning of something new, 2023, right? So we're going to see how the spirit goes, but they're setting everything up for Jacob's trouble. That right there is a part of that. You know, your water, your food. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, that's necessities.
Yeah. You know?
That's straight, and that's how he calls it. Because if he takes away necessities, and if he's telling you that your necessities isn't even guaranteed, you had him say a couple months ago they were talking about freedom of speech isn't an absolute right.
Right. Yep.
So you can that's in the Constitution, but freedom of speech isn't an absolute right. Biden said the other day, our democracy isn't guaranteed. When they talk about democracy, we know what the real meaning of it. But when they speak about democracy, they try to speak of it as if it means freedom.
Right.
So what they're saying is freedom isn't guaranteed.
Right.
So that's the those are the captivity. You know, the necessities that you need, the buying and selling, all these things that people do to live. They're telling you, nah. You can't. Those ain't guaranteed. You're not gonna. If you're gonna want that, you're gonna have to give us something for those things.
Boom. Hey, that's they that consent unto them shall be had in derision.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. So I got a bit more in here. It says here, continuing, they can hold the digital currency either in an account with the central bank, or as electronic tokens. The World Economic Forum explains in its Central Bank Digital Currency Policymaker Toolkit. The electronic tokens could be held on mobile devices, prepaid cards, or other forms of digital wallets.
What's that other forms?
Right.
So they keep it vague. So when the time comes, guess what? All roads are leading to the MOTB. If you have a phone, you cannot fully be tracked because you could turn off your phone. You could turn off the location settings, whatever. With that implant inside your body, they have complete control of everything you do. And they've said it. They want to have control of what you think, how you feel, who you're laying with, who you're talking to, what you're thinking about, all of that. Your heart rate, all that shit. They want to be like the Most High, like the scripture says. So this thing is bigger than what people think. Oh, it's just CBD. No. That's how they're going to use it to get it into people's bodies. Okay, your ability to gain access to buying and selling. That's the key. That is the key. It's not no Vanessa. You got people saying, oh, the Vanessa, you take the jab. And no. You cannot buy it. So who you seen with a jab on their forehead? You're not going to see that. There's no such thing. You can't go into a store, oh, yeah, I got the Pfizer, so let me buy it. No, bro. It's that MOTB is what we're talking about, what they're about to implement very soon. Okay.
All right. So it says here, so yeah, let's keep an eye out for that. The other forms of digital wallets.
Right.
So it says here, businesses and other financial institutions like high street banks could also use CBDC. A digital currency would complement rather than replace physical cash, according to the ECB.
All right, so now the banks are getting involved in that, and everybody pretty much has a bank in this country. If you're in this country and you don't have a bank, you pretty much don't exist.
Bank account.
Right. You have to have a bank account. You have to have some type of form of payment. Whether you work, they're going to send it through your bank account. You know, if you want to buy anything, you need to have some type of form of payment to give them.
Right.
Right. Cash is being phased out, and you know how easy it is for them to phase out cash. They just tell you, look, this new system that we have, bring in your cash for this. Now, the dollar, they could do it where $1 would be worth maybe 50 cents now. So anyone who has a dollar, if you switch it to digital, it might be worth $2. So switch your dollar to digital for $2, or if you hold on to your paper dollar, it'll be worth only 50 cents.
Right.
People gonna be like, fuck this shit. I'm just using paper. It's not worth anything no more.
Right.
Some
And
stores
just
won't take it.
stores wouldn't take it.
Yeah,
right.
Starbucks just came out, said that they're going digital. I mean, they're going cashless.
Right. You know, and then they came out and said, oh no, we're not doing that. That was just a rumor. What do you mean that's a rumor? all these, the whole system is changing to digital. You can't say it's a rumor. You gonna do it too. You know? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You know?
So it says here, would society benefit from CBDCs? The digital euro would be a fast, easy, and secure way for people to make daily payments. The ECB says it would give people more choice about how to pay, and also increase financial inclusion.
That, in other words, that means that there will be less choices of how to pay, and it will be less inclusive. So it's not, okay, you have cash. Okay, people who have cash, this is for you. No, it's going to be one thing. That device, that grain of rice. And that's the device, that grain of rice. You know, that one thing is that one thing they're going to use, and everyone will have to be in that one. You have to have that one thing in order to be a part of society. So read that sentence again real quick.
All right, it says here, the digital euro would be a fast, easy, and secure way for people to make daily payments.
That means the opposite. Go ahead.
The ECB says it would give people more, quote-unquote, choice about how to pay.
So less choices with that one option. You have only one thing that you can use to make your payments. Go ahead.
And also increase financial inclusion.
Right. So there'll be less financial inclusion because guess what? You have brackets. Social credit system brings brackets. So if you have a social, what did he say? He said a financial what? Inclusion?
Inclusion.
Yeah,
right.
financial inclusion.
It wouldn't be financial inclusion, because what if brothers like us who were gonna say we don't want to take this no more, we're financially excluded.
Yep.
You see, so that again, it negates what they just said about, oh, it's gonna be for everyone and all inclusive. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's only inclusive for those who are going to be a part of the system. You see?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Close it full.
Boom.
It says about 1.7 billion adults globally don't have access to a bank account, according to the World Bank data. This is a barrier to reduce.
You so bro. Damn.
This is a barrier to reducing poverty. By making money easier and safer to access, central bank digital currencies could potentially improve financial inclusion, says the Atlantic Council, an American think tank.
So you hear what it just says. So read that part again where it says about by making money. Read that again.
By making money easier and safer to access.
Sorry. Read up a little bit more where it talks about the poverty.
Okay. About 1.7 billion adults globally don't have access to a bank account, according to the World Bank data. This is a barrier to reducing poverty.
So they're equating poverty to people who are not in the system, because having a bank account, basically, what does a bank have? They have your information. You know, they have your information. They have who you are, your address, your income, what you do for a living, all these things. But they said that if you don't have a bank account, that means we can't reduce poverty if you're not tied into the system. Go ahead.
It says here, by making money easier and safer to access.
Now it says by making money easier and safer to access. If you go all the way up to the beginning of that article, the first sentence, it says money isn't what? You go to the top.
Money isn't paper and coins anymore.
There you go. So they're going to make money be more accessible, but now they're saying that the money that we're talking about is not going to be paper and coins. You're going to be able to get this. Everybody, remember, small and great, rich and poor. You know, but you're going to be able to get this, but it ain't going to be the federal the note, the USD. It's going to be the CBDC.
So everything is centralized. Right.
So going on, it says, by making money easier and safer to access, central bank digital currencies could potentially improve financial inclusion, says the Atlantic Council, an American think tank.
And that's how that's the serpent's poison, because they make it seem like, oh man, they really care about the poor, you know, they really want to just make everything better. But this devil, he's perverse. So what he thinks is better, it will always be worse.
Right.
How he does something will always, how he tries to bring a benefit will always end up being a detriment.
Right.
So when you, and that's why he said that he deceiveth them that receive the M-A-R-K. Because you got deceived into thinking that this is actually better, that this is beneficial, that this is actually going to stop poverty. This is going to cure, you know, world hunger. This is going to cure certain diseases. Because they're using that, they're using the C hip to say it can do other miracles outside of just financial, you know, financial poverty. And people are deceived because they believe on the words of the devil, just like how Eve was deceived.
And one has to think about what are the incentives behind this. Remember, this is a corporation, a private corporation. Now they have the best intentions for the world, including people who are poor, who don't even have bank accounts. Now they care about you. There's a new system. So this whole time you have the power, all these billions of dollars that they got. They couldn't help people. Now they want to set up a whole system to help the whole world. You got to think about that for a second.
They plundered the whole world. How are you going to trust the people that plundered their entire world? They literally stole nations.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
Us.
Yes.
They stole us. They stole heritage. Bro. They changed landmarks. They stole natural resources. And they profited. That's how they got rich.
Right.
At what point in their history are you going to, they say, you know what, we're going to become on top by helping people?
Right. Right. No.
That's not how they got where they got. And they want to maintain it, and they want to go above that. Remember, the scripture says that I will be like the Most High. They got into a point where now they want to challenge the authority of God.
Right.
All right? They want to challenge they want to go head to head with the Creator. Because they feel like, well, we've already gotten this. So let's see how far we can really go.
Yeah. And you think they got your best interests at heart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interest. Go ahead, man.
This is Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Right. So were they drawn swords, which are what? Fighting instruments. You know, everything is all about war. So I'm going to deceive you into making sure that your guard is down so I can come in and attack you. That's what the devil does. He deceives you. You see? So everything they're saying and doing right now, it might sound good. It might sound like something beneficial. I mean, if you really look at it, look at what they could, I mean, look at the possibilities. Like they use the word could, not will, but could. So again, it's a potential. Like, oh, if we're able to do this and we have a very good chance of doing it, then we can do this. But then if you really look at it, the end goal is, oh, so you're going to depopulate, you're going to kill off a whole bunch of people, and you're going to look what you've done for the past 2 years. And it seems like every solution you niggas keep giving is doing more damage to people and telling us that, look, I mean, the feds came out and said, hey, look, man, expect to be in pain.
Expect pain.
They use the word pain. What are you talking about? Pain.
What happened to the soft landing?
You see? So it seems like everything they say, 2 weeks to bend the curve. Boom. 2 weeks. It's been 2-3 years now. Where's the curve at?
I was listening to a podcast, and it was like them saying soft landing anyway is a problem, because you're talking about an economy. An economy is supposed to, when it's doing good, is riding high. That's what it said. You're riding high. So if you're riding high in an economy, then that's how it's good. But if you're trying to land something, that means that it's coming down. So you are, in essence, already saying that you're going to crash it. You're just trying to crash it in a way that doesn't affect majority of people are not really noticing the crash. Trying to soft crash, because a soft landing, every landing, if you're landing, right, like I said, that means you're coming down. But when somebody says, "Oh, we're trying to do a soft landing," let's say even talking about like in a pilot, if you're trying to do a soft landing, that means that you're having problems.
Right.
That's a crash landing. So you're just trying to find out the easiest way to crash this plane softly.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the plane is still fucking crashing.
That's it. Yeah. Just doing it in a softer way.
So in essence, they're letting the world know, or the population know, yeah, this economy is crashing. This is definitely going to crash.
Right.
We're just trying to soft crash it, soft land it. But now they're coming out saying, oh yeah, nah, we can't soft crash it. There's going to be pain. Because like if you're crashing something, you're expecting pain in an airplane, right? Expect pain. So I guess the shit ain't going to be soft then. It's not going to be soft if you're telling me to expect pain. When they tell you, buckle up, put your head between your legs to kiss your ass goodbye. That's what you're really about to do, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do. You know? That's the devil coming down upon you having great wrath. You know, he's coming down. He says soft landing. He ain't coming down soft. Fuck.
He's definitely coming down soft.
Because if he did, then people will be able to get up again and fight. He wants to crush you. He wants to put you in a situation where you're gonna be like, okay, I tap. Well, what do you want me to do, Uncle? Exactly. What do you want me to do? You know, you want us to do this? You want us to take this? We'll do it. Just please, just.
All right, what's that in Isaiah? They should go down to Egypt for help.
Right. Woe unto
them to that go down to Egypt for help. That cover with a covering cast, but not of my spirit. Because when you're looking for a covering, like when you're out in the rain, you're trying to duck for cover, or a hailstorm, you're trying to find the nearest covering. So the time is coming where everybody's going to be running for cover.
Right.
But the problem is you're going to go to a covering that is not of the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, which is ultimately going to be a false covering. It's going to be a covering that won't be able to protect you.
Right.
And that's why it says, woe unto you that cover with a covering cast, a covering, but not of my spirit. All right, because this is it. This is the only covering that is actually going to protect you. That's why it also says that a man should be a hiding place. It should be a hiding place. They got some residue left over from camp. Should be a hiding place from a tempest and a covering from the wind.
Right.
And what man? The same man that will be made more precious than fine gold. That's the same. And what quality will that man have? He's going to be a man of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, a man of the Lord.
That's right. That's right. So it goes on. It says the resilience of financial systems could also be boosted if a natural disaster or the failure of payments company made cash unavailable. A CBDC could provide a backup, the International Monetary Fund says.
So the IMF is also involved now, and they're more international. If you think about it, how they're able to manipulate countries and their economic system is through the IMF. You know, they'll say we'll give you fund, you know, for 20 million or 20 billion dollars, and you know all we ask for is more power in your political scheme.
Hey, oh man, and that's why you have a lot of these different countries going through economic turmoil. And they're basically giving them loans. And when you are getting a loan, that means you're indebted. Basically, you're a slave. So if a country or government is indebted to the IMF, then they can, like how you said, they can influence them in their agenda, in their direction. And the IMF, if I'm not mistaken, is they basically work in tandem with, I think you just read it, with the WEF. They're working in tandem with those things. So the WEF is a the WEF is a think tank, so they're a think tank that is pushing out this ideology, and they're using their different institutions like the IMF, like the BIS, like the World Health Organization, because the health plays a part as well, right? They're using all these different institutions to push out this thought process that they have. Okay, so when these other countries, these emerging markets like Indonesia, like Sri Lanka, like all these other countries that are having economic turmoil, Netherlands, when they need to get bailed out a loan, they're like, yeah, we give you the loan, but now we're gonna need you to push this CBDC. We're gonna need you to push this ideology of you know, digital ID, you know, national ID form, all of these things. And that's when these countries, that's how he calls it all, because all of these countries have to play ball with these world institutions. They can't do marketing, they can't do commerce if they're not partaking in the system of the IMF, the BIS, the SWIFT system, which is being transformed into the Fed now. Because the SWIFT system right now is the international payment system. That's the America set that up. And that's why they're able. They were speaking about taking Russia out of the SWIFT payment system.
Right.
Okay, but now they want to change that to the Fed now, which will be a automatic, you know, right on the spot. Which you did the video, the Fed now and the CBDC is it's a mirror. It's the same thing. They're just using different terminology.
That's what Mayor Hampshire Bauer said, give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes the laws.
That's right.
Because the IMF is basically like a Federal Reserve, but on a world scale, and they run that same scheme, but just on a world scale.
That's it.
So it says here, reducing financial crime is another motivator. Now, like we always say, these are things to pay attention to, because these are possible problems in which their solution would make the most sense. Right? Oh, if something happened that would, a natural disaster or a failure of payments that made cash unavailable, you know? So now if they bring out CBDCs along with cash, they could very well set up something to say now cash is rendered unavailable. Good thing we have CBDCs.
Boom.
Oh, excuse me. Yep, hey, that's a good scripture. Daniel 8 verse 25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many, and he shall also stand against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. You know, through the policies, man. He causes craft, which is what? Cunning deceits, trickery, you know, cunning arts. That's what he causes craft to prosper through his policies. That's why they do all of these legislations, these executive orders, and they do them at a time where people are not paying attention. Especially it might be in a Super Bowl, you know, time period, or the finals, or something that is distracting to people. You know, they may have a celebrity, you know, start some drama, you know, with somebody else that is really just caused Jake to be distracted. You know, the sports or entertainment, you know. And they do all these policies, and they prosper. So when, like we were talking about earlier, when December 13th come around, they want to say, "Well, we already signed this. You know, we already had this, and we told you, and we told you about it too. You know." But the craftiness of this devil, and that's why you got to be very, very keen, man. You got to stay upon the watch.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, the brother Shamir put a comment like a while earlier. He said, "All sports arena are cashless this season."
Oh wow!
You see that?
Yeah. Hey, and this, what does sports mean? Sports are things that takes your mind off of real life, real important events or issues. Anything that's pleasurable that takes your mind off of real life important issues. That's a sport. You know, you got basketball, baseball, all these different things. People get invested in those things. You have a team that you support. So you come back home, yeah, you might be stressed out or whatever, but you come home and you're watching your sports team play, your mind forgets about all those things that you worried about that day.
Right.
You see? So they use these things, bread and circuses, right? Give them bread and circuses and they shall never revolt.
Never revolt.
You know?
So it goes on, it says reducing...
Now, Salakia, cashless, most people on a normal, regular basis will be against it, but it's tied into something they like to do. That's how they get you.
Right.
You see, it's tied into something that you like to do. So you're not gonna be willing to get, oh fuck, I mean, it's cashless. I wanna go see this game. I wanna see my team play. Nah, you know what? Fuck it, I'll just do it. You know, and then next thing you know, it becomes where ain't no other options but that. That then becomes the norm.
Because even with like you said, with the Vanessas, people didn't get the Vanessa because they wanted to be protected against the Crown Royale. People got the Vanessas, they would say, because I want to travel. Because I want to do this. The Vanessa was supposed to protect you, right? That's what you're supposed to be doing it for, because you want to get protection. But I want to get this because I want to do this event, this activity. So that's how they're going to. We always say that was just a simulation. That's how they're going to do it with the Karagma. You know, with the MOTB.
You see, a license plate says jab.
Oh shit! Nah, that's crazy. That's a spirit. You see?
Wow.
But that's how they gonna get you.
Yep.
Go ahead.
All right. So it says reducing financial crime is another motivator. Cash is essentially untraceable, and this helps to facilitate crime. See, they're demonizing cash. Since when?
Thought cash was king.
Right. First off, you took away gold for cash. Now cash is bad.
Right.
It says central bank digital currencies, on the other hand, can improve the transparency of money flows, says the Atlantic Council.
On the other hand, in his right hand, his right hand of deceit.
Yeah, he's devil, man. So he's have here, how many countries are considering central bank digital currencies? More than 100 countries are exploring CBDCs, according to the Atlantic Council's Central Bank Digital Currency Tracker, an interactive map tool.
And that's no coincidence that all these countries are doing this at once. You know, that this is once again, you even got like Bahamas, you got Nigeria, you got a lot of Jake. I don't know if those are. I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that are in the authoritative seats are Israelites, but guess what? They're in cahoots. Because even when you go to First Maccabees, it says what? Yeah, even many of the Israelites consented. And it's when you go to who consents a lot, it's even during the time of Yahushua, it's always the chief rulers, the rulers of the people. The scriptures tells you that the rulers of my people have caused them to err. All right. So you have like places like Bahamas, places like Ghana, places like Nigeria, where Israelites are maybe the presidents, they may be the prime ministers of finance, but they're in the league with the devil, so they're also going to push his agenda.
That's right.
That's right. So it says here, 10 countries have already launched their own digital currency, including Nigeria in Africa and Jamaica in the Caribbean, the Bahamas in the West Indies.
This devil's a fucking demon. I just really, you said 100 countries. Why'd you name all Jake countries? Yo, World Economic, why'd you, there's 100 countries. Jake don't got that many countries that we can call ours. But you, including Nigeria. Then you wanna name all the Jake the country. Then what about the other Hamitic countries in Africa? You gonna name the countries that, including Nigeria and Bahamas and Jamaica. See? The Israelites, you fucking devils, man.
You know what you're doing. Crafty, man.
It says the Bahamas in the West Indies was the first country in the world to roll out a national central bank digital currency called the Sand Dollar in October 2020. China is due to launch a CBDC in 2023. 19 countries in the G20, which represents the world's largest economies, are exploring central bank digital currencies, including Japan, India, Russia, and South Korea. As mentioned above, the US and UK are researching CBDCs, but have not yet committed to introducing them.
Yeah, because they want to, scripture says that the Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
Right.
So the Esau, he does these things where he, as we say, the live simulations, he lets Australia do it, Canada do it, Bahamas, these other places. America's supposed to be the leading force of everything, right? So why you think it's by coincidence that they haven't done it yet first? No, because once they institute it, that's like the final piece.
That's it.
That's when it's now an official standard. There you go, official standard in the world. When in UK, their inflation rate right now, they talking about that shit's about to be sky high rocketed, man.
Right.
Okay, sky high rocketed. But if the CBDCs has all of these great benefits, why the hell you ain't just do it right now? Why you letting all these other countries do it? Because it's ultimately you need to continue to bring the pain and have it all laid out, so then when you institute it in the UK and the US, that's when it's like you said, that's the standard. That's it. This is what it is from now on. And they're gonna say, well, everybody else in the world is doing it. This is what it has to be done for the societies to continue to flow successfully.
Right. Safe.
So it says, what successes have CBDCs had? In the Bahamas, introducing the Sand Dollar has made it easier for people to transact money across an otherwise vast archipelago. Says archipelago. The water says Deliot. The island of Jamaica, which started rolling out its Jamdex digital currency earlier this year, expects savings of about $7 million a year on replacing, storing, and handling cash, according to the Atlantic Council CBDC tracker tool.
And after all this, the whole system is being set up. You know what they're going to do. Like we've been saying, that one device that pretty much covers all these things, because it's all so many different avenues.
Right.
One thing that'll cover everything. It ties your identity into your life, your new digital identity.
Even in that article that I put in the group chat yesterday, it tells you that the IMF said that there will be each central bank may have their own digital currency, but because of the way that the clearing and settlement system, you can throw all of those central currencies into one basket, and that one basket would be able to basically be programmable to be able to recognize the exchange rate of each digital currency. So I can exchange with you in China,
right?
Just by way of this payment system of the CBDC, using my quote-unquote U.S. central bank digital currency. You use your Chinese central bank digital currency, but it's interchangeable.
Right, it's the same.
And that's how it becomes just one global system of currency. And that's why the IMF, the BIS, all of that, they are involved as well, because it's going to be an international payment system. So you can say that, oh, I got my own European central bank digital currency. I have the U.S. central bank, but at the end of the day, it's all interchangeable.
Right. Right.
You know?
Right. It's controlled by one entity, but in different facets of it.
Yep.
So yeah, even though you might be in Europe, guess what? Who controls the Europe is the same one who controls the one in US, and the same one who controls the one in China. So it all works in cohesion. You see? Global.
So like if you had like $100 digital dollars, the second you get to China, it would know how to transfer that to maybe like 102 digital yuan.
Exactly.
Right. Through the payment system.
Through the payment system, yeah. Because I mean, you do that now. If you go to a foreign country, you go to the bank and exchange.
Right.
But they can do it all like instantly, digitally.
And they're going to know, because you're in that system now. Because if you try to exchange euros for dollars, they won't know that you're there exchanging euros for dollars.
Right.
But if you were doing that now they know why they know how much you're exchanging, and they're also going to know why you're exchanging it. The payment system is going to be connected to their database. So they want to know, oh, he's buying this over there in China. And even as they get over there, you're gonna have to be known.
Right.
You know, the known traveler. And so they're gonna have complete access to everything that you do. And they even want to get inside your thoughts.
Oh yeah.
They want you to, what are you thinking?
Right.
Then that Karagma, the Neuralink, that's tied to that as well.
Harari said that. That rat. He said, going on the day. He said, oh, humans have this concept of free will. You know, you decide when you can go to the grocery store or what you want to buy. He said those days are over. He said you're not gonna have no options of, oh no, you go based on what we tell you. Oh, listen, your carbon footprint says you've eaten enough meat today, so that's it for you for the rest of the week. You can't eat this much of this. You can't buy this. You can't buy it. So they lock it in. They lock everyone's shit in. So based on your credit system, if you high on the totem pole, you're a very good obedient slave. You get more perks than a disobedient slave, pretty much. You know,
the more you worship, the more you get.
Boom. Right. And those who don't want to be on that type of system, they're coming for us.
Yep.
You know, and the Lord gonna come for them. So, you know.
Hey, like we were talking about, show new signs.
Gonna
do that. So this is the last section. It says, and what are the challenges of central bank digital currencies? And it's very important that you read these articles. You know, like there's some articles that we look at like headlines and stuff, but like when it comes to these CBDCs, it's very important that you read them, because you can look at, like we're doing, pick out the language and tie it into what it is they're trying to do, tie it into scriptures. It'll give you a better measurement of the time frame,
right?
You know, how they operate.
Because remember, the Lord said that He caused it their own tongue to fall upon them. So that's an indicator when they come out with things like this. It's an alert should pop up in your head, like, oh, the Lord said that He's going to cause their tongue to fall upon them. So that means that these articles are going to have information that is going to basically tell on themselves.
Right. Yep. Because we know the truth. That's right. You know, we know the end goal. We know exactly where this is all headed to. The average person will read it as a regular article. We'll read it as this is their agenda, which fits biblical prophecy. Right. You see? So that's why they want to limit the information. They say, it's a war on information, world economic, for all this extra shit. It's against the truth. All right.
So it says, for Ecuador and South America, low levels of trust in the central bank led to its digital currency being canceled 3 years after launch in 2017. Challenges for central banks exploring digital currencies include potential cybersecurity threats with digital money, risks from counterfeiting, theft, and network failure could have more catastrophic consequences than for cash, the World Economic Forum warns. Another challenge is how to make central bank digital currencies widely available enough in a country to ensure they improve rather than worsen financial inclusion, the forum adds. Countries also need to have suitable technical and legal frameworks in place before they can issue digital currencies.
Hey, so they all going to have the same, basically, the same legal dialogue. You know, each country is going to play by the same book, when it comes to the CBDC. You know, this is what you can and can't do.
Yep.
This is who can and be adopted. This is the type of individual that can be included into that, because it tells you, like I said in the article I mentioned yesterday, that they want to make the public and private sector more tighter. So to the point where it's everything that the private sector is basically your buying and selling, your commerce on the day-to-day, right? And the public sector is basically like the government. So they want to make your buying and selling and the government in tandem.
Right.
So you can't operate on a trying to, these street vendors and stuff like that. That's going to be completely out. You can't operate on this system anymore. But see, with cash, you can still operate like this. They can be like, yo, you got cash? Yo, give me cash. People say that all the time. You get a discount if you got cash.
Right, yes, for gas.
Gas,
jewelry,
buying something, you get a discount. But now they're doing the opposite of that. They're taking away that ability for you to use cash, and now it's going to get to the point where you try to do something, they're going to be like, oh, nah, we don't accept cash.
Right.
Now cash ain't good here. We need that. We need that DC.
Yep. Like you have people saying Bitcoin and all that. And we're like, Bitcoin ain't gonna do nothing. A lot of people who invested in Bitcoin, they're starting to back up on that. Like, nah, this thing ain't what we thought it was. That was just a test for some type of digital currency, you see. And they did that. They came out with the whole PPP.
Get Luke 21.
PPP loans. That PPP is what the elder just said. Public-private partnership.
Yep.
That's that PPP. And it came out 2 years ago. So they've introduced it into the atmosphere. So we already know where this is going. All right. Go ahead.
Luke 21 and 34.
This is Luke chapter 21 and 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting, and drunkenness, and cares of this life, and so that day come upon you unawares.
Yep. So the Lord said, what? Take heed unto yourself, meaning pay attention, man. Don't let the surfeiting, all right, the drunkenness of the cares of this world, the surfeiting, the banqueting, the partying, that just being in that mirth spirit. That's why the scripture says better is to go to the house of the mirth than to the house of house of mourning is the house of mirth. Because when you go to the house of mourning, it puts you in a sober mind state. Because the more you are in a mourning mind state, the more you're thinking.
Right.
You're in a serious logical state of mind, like, yo, you trying to get out of the you trying to get out of the morning. So it's like, yo, you trying to think like, yo, because if you're in a house of mirth, you're like, That's why a lot of people, when they go to a club or some shit, they get a fight pop off or guns, start shooting. They don't know where the fuck it's coming from.
Right.
And they might be scattering around. You run right into the fucking right into the shooter because you're not aware. You're not being sound minded. All right, but when you're in a house of mourning, you're being attentive to everything because everything vexes you at that point.
Right.
So
you're not distracted.
You're not distracted, and that's what this devil wants to do. Going back to the bread and circuses, he wants to have you distracted so that when he brings this hell, when he brings all these things, you won't know, and it'll just swallow you right up.
Come upon you unawares.
They come upon you unawares. And he said the cares of this life, meaning what, the anxieties of this life, is all temporary anyway. So don't stress it. Don't stress it to the point where you're not taking heed.
Right.
You're not being attentive, because at the end of the day, it's all temporary.
Right. That's the key. It's all temporary. It's not going to be like this forever. It's actually we have shorter times now. living in this system now than before the demic started. The time we've been in this so-called demic crisis is longer than how much time we have left in this kingdom. So think about that for a second, spiritually. You know, it's not that much time left. It's all temporary.
And Ezra asked the angel about that. He asked, you know, an angel gave him the similitude about the smoke and the fire. You know?
Right.
And that's the time that we're in right now.
Right,
know?
right. Yep.
So
there's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's just go down to 36 and then we'll finish it.
Okay.
For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
There you go. All right. So watching and praying, man. Pray for the Lord to continue to keep this spirit on you, continue to guide you, you know, to be able to discern, you know, because that's a big thing that these people can't do. They can't discern good from evil. I believe in Book of Micah, it talks about that. The ones who were able to discern good from evil and from righteous from the wicked, they don't, so they can't even discern what Esau's doing as being evil. Because Esau being the devil, he's able to make it look that is good. But we having the spiritual mind, we're able to discern good from evil. And that's how this devil's going to deceive all these people, because they're going to think that this is a good thing. We just read about all of these, how they portraying it, all of these benefits, the financial, you know, theft, you know, counterfeit, all these things. So they're saying, oh yeah, this is good. This is good. Cash can't do this, but the CBDCs can do this. But a spiritual man is able to discern good from evil, able to discern right from wrong. You know, in this world this world is a fucking fun house, man. You know, everything is all distorted. Everything looks all up, looks down, down looks up. That's how this world is. So you can't tell your head from your ass, you know, without the spiritual eyes to see. And that's why Yahweh Shai said that, blessed are your eyes for they see and your ears for they hear.
Right. So city of confusion, Babylon.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. You know, we're gonna close it out. And, you know, stay tuned, man. Stay in tune because, you know, we're in September, all right? We got 3 more months, and then this year is pretty much over. So we're really pretty much at the door of all hell breaking loose, you know, and this is the time where we got to lock in the most, you know, and be in tune with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua as best as we can.
Yeah, that's an interesting verbiage, being in tune, because tune is like what? A song.
Right.
You know? So you got to be within the right song of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua so that you can understand the lyrics. You can understand the that's a whole nother topic. The trumpet, go to trumpet, what you say?
That's the song that no man
knew. Stay in tune.
Right.
Because if you get out of tune, then you're gonna be off beat.
Right. You're gonna be like, what the fuck you doing? Get back ahead. You know? Yeah, so we gotta stay in tune. Stay in tune.
Stay in tune.
That's right.
Tune in, stay in tune.
That's right. It's all being spiritual.
You
know? Hey, so yeah, we're gonna leave it there. You know, Lord willing, you brothers and sisters been edified. We want to give all praises on that. Glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
And until next time, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom.